Okay, let's talk about Studienkolleg, or as it is sometimes called, International Foundation Year. So, what is Studienkolleg? It is a very specific German thing. It is meant for international high school graduates whose high school degree is not yet sufficient enough to get admission to a German university. So, the German government is saying you have some knowledge and skills needed for German university, but we are not fully confident that your degree is enough to go to a German university and be successful at it. That is why you have to attend Studienkolleg. Studienkolleg is then a 1 year course, full time, between 28 to 32 hours per week of basically a school. There are different subjects that are taught, and at the end, there will be a final exam called the FSP Feststellungsprüfung, which you have to pass in order to get admission to a German university. There are different types of Studienkolleg courses that you have to or you can attend. Which type of Studienkolleg course you need to or you can attend is dependent on two factors. The first and the main factor is your high school degree. So, what is the type of degree that you got from your high school in your home country? And oftentimes, what was the major? Was it more a commercial or technical major? Was it a major in math, physics, or more human sciences, languages maybe? That is the first factor that is determining which course you can or must attend. And the second factor is what you want to study afterwards in university, because certain courses only give you access or allow you to attend certain types of study bachelor programs in university later on. The first Studienkolleg course type is called T course. T stands for technical, so this is for anyone who wants to attend a subject like engineering afterwards, for example. That would be the most common application. And in the T course, mainly subjects that are relevant for engineering, like math and physics, are taught. The second course type is called M course, which stands for medical course, and that is the course that you have to attend if you want to study medicine, biology, psychology, pharmacy, sports science. So this whole area, and in this course type, the M course, subjects like biology, for example, are very, very important. The third type that you can attend is the W course. That is the course for business and economics. So if you want to go to business school, study economics at university afterwards, this is the type of course you will attend. There will be a mixture of languages and things like math. The fourth type is called G course. That is the course you have to attend if you want to study political science, journalism, all these kinds of subjects that are somehow connected to the humanities. And according to that, the subjects will be more humanity-centric in your Studienkolleg courses. And the fifth and the last course type is called S course. S is for all the languages. So if you want to study German, English, or any other language later on at university, the S course is the one that you have to attend in order to be admitted. And of course, languages are a major emphasis in the Studienkolleg S course. So it is important to know which course you have to attend in order to get into the study program that you want to. However, oftentimes your high school degree only gives you the access to one particular Studienkolleg course. So you always have to check whether or not you have a general admission to the Studienkolleg or a subject restricted admission to Studienkolleg. That means you can only attend one or maybe two types of courses. If you have the option to attend multiple types of courses. You can still only attend one. So let's say you can attend the T and the W course, and you choose to attend the T. Then after you have finished and you took your final exam successfully, you decide that you actually want to switch to a major like economics, which would have been only possible with the W course. You can take something that is called Ergänzungsprüfung in Germany. That means that you take an additional exam where some subjects from the W course are also tested. And if you pass that one, then you're able to switch. If you don't, you can't. And you can only take this Ergänzungsprüfung if you are from the start already eligible to attend the course that you want to switch into. So if you only have one option, that is the option you have to take, and there is no other way around even after it. So that is important to know if you need to attend a certain one or if you're the option of more than one. It is important to note that the Studienkolleg actually is not mandatory. What is mandatory is the final exam at the end of it, called FSP. However, it is virtually impossible to pass the FSP without having attended the 1 year of Studienkolleg, because the FSP will be in German, whole Studienkolleg will be in German, the subjects will be taught to you that you need to know in order to pass the exam. So actually the exam is the only mandatory part in this whole chain. However, in reality, you need to attend Studienkolleg to be able to pass the final FSP exam. There are two different types of Studienkollegs. The first one are the public ones. There are at the moment 28 public Studienkollegs in Germany. Each of those Studienkollegs is affiliated to at least one public German university. The great advantage of them is that they are free of charge or charge only a very small sum to attend them. And at the end, you can always take an internal FSP exam. So that means that the Studienkolleg has all the tools to administer the final FSP exam. And it's kind of a more smooth process. For each of those public Studienkollegs, you need to be invited to the entry exam, because admission to the public Studienkollegs is competitive. And you then also need to pass the entry exam, and you need to have a certain score nowadays to be admitted to it. So you have to think that there are a lot of people from outside of Germany, outside of the EU, who want to get into the German education sector, and attending a Studienkolleg is mandatory for many of them, or having the FSP is mandatory for many of them. And of course, the public Studienkollegs are very attractive because they don't cost anything virtually. So the Studienkollegs have a lot of applicants, even for the entry exam, and then the Studienkolleg will choose the ones with the highest scores, because with them they see the highest chances of them being successful and then attending university. So that is something that you have to keep in mind with the public Studienkollegs. If you are invited but you don't pass the entry exam, for example, that you don't have a good enough German skill at the moment, many of those public Studienkollegs also offer German courses then that you can attend to improve your German, to maybe then retake the entry exam at a later point. There are 2 intakes per year for the winter semester and the summer semester. So there are per year, you have 2 chances to get into the entry exam, and then actually by passing the entry exam, get into public Studienkolleg. The second option are private Studienkollegs. They are an alternative for many people who don't pass or don't get a spot in the public Studienkollegs, and they still want to stay in Germany and actually get admission to a German university. So that is sort of needed for them to attend a Studienkolleg and pass the FSP. One of the biggest differences, of course, is the fact that private ones charge money. So there's a huge range of possible prices. They range from 1,000, 2,000 euros to up to 15, 17,000 euros per year. So it is a lot more costly to attend a private Studienkolleg than a public one. On the flip side, admission criteria and requirements are much lower usually for private Studienkollegs. So oftentimes you don't even have an entry exam, and even if your German level is not good enough, they will offer a preparation language course beforehand to get you up to speed. The quality of private Studienkollegs is sometimes doubted by some people, or there's a great variety. So that is why it's important to do thorough research before applying for a private Studienkolleg. Many of those private Studienkollegs then offer an external final exam. That means that the exam is not taken within the school, but you have to go to a public government authority, usually that of a city in which the private Studienkolleg is located in, or sometimes they have corporations, affiliations with public universities or public Studienkollegs, where you then can go to and take the final FSP exam as well. Nonetheless, if it's an official final FSP exam and you pass it, you will always be able to then apply for university afterwards. The language requirements for Studienkolleg is in the range of B1 to B2. So there are some schools that officially say it's B1. There are some that say officially it's B2. So if your language is below those levels, you will most likely not even be invited to the entry exam. However, even if you have the official minimum language level, this will sometimes, or maybe even oftentimes, not be enough to actually stand out from all the applicants. So getting your language level to the highest possible level that you can before applying or taking the entrance exam is a great benefit to have. So let's quickly recap what we learned about Studienkolleg. So Studienkolleg is for international high school graduates whose degree is not enough yet for a German university. The Studienkolleg is a one-year course, full-time in German, that is preparing you for the final exam called FSP. The FSP is mandatory, Studienkolleg is not. However, in reality, it is needed because you will not be able to pass the FSP without it. There are 5 types of Studienkolleg courses: T, M, W, G, and S. Which course you must attend or can attend depending on your high school degree and what you want to study afterwards. Oftentimes you are, by your high school degree, already limited to 1 or maybe 2 courses that you can attend. You can attend a public or private Studienkolleg. Public ones are a lot cheaper, but entry to them is a lot more competitive. Private ones, the barrier of entry is a lot lower, however they charge money for it. At both public and private, you are able to take a type of FSP exam, which, if you pass it, enables you to attend university afterwards. The language requirement to get into is usually B1 to B2 officially. However, the real language level that you need is slightly higher, so practice your German as hard as you can beforehand.